Dum, 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 dum.
Rhymes Arcade, Rhymes Arcade, where the games get played and the games get saved so they can be played on another day. Rhymes Arcade.
Well, greetings, everybody. Welcome back once again to Rob's Arcade. I am your host, Robert French, Mr. Rob, Mr. Bob, the video game master, hanging out today, playing some video games here. Actually, this might be loud. So let's pop back out 1 second here. We'll just like kind of go to this screen here. Okay, so anyway, we're hanging out here, just jumping right into it. In my virtual room, which I've mentioned before, I swear looks very much like my room back when I was a teenager. And aside from just being extremely clean, not much different than what my room looks like now. Even the bed is a bit pulled back like that. But anyway, going through these titles one by one, we've made it all the way to the E's, which is very exciting. E is for Emily. Can I get an Emily? Sorry. Anyway, I just got back from a work conference. It was actually called Emily EL. That's not how you spell it. EMLE. Excuse me. It's emerging multicultural leaders experience. Very, very cool thing I got to be a part of, and I'm just literally like getting back into town from that. So it's all in my head right now. So excuse me for being a little silly with that. But yeah, anyway, so E, not only for Emily and emerging leaders in an experience, but it's also for ESWAT, which are going to be hanging out playing these games. And something I've been liking to do, kind of like a thing I used to do on the weekends. I would play these SEGA games, go to my local store, rent them, and just kind of hang out, watch movies that I rent from the video store and play games and stuff like that on a Saturday. And so that's kind of what I'm bringing to you guys here. It's just kind of some of that same experience and some of the same things I would do on the weekend, Saturdays and Sundays before I would head back to school. And today we're going to do E-SWAT, so let's go ahead and just jump right back into this. We've got actually on my tablet playing right now some Invisible Invaders. I think it's like 1959. This guy looks kind of fucking badass. It's like RoboCop. I think typically when I play too, I think I play the full screen. I don't think I usually do this screen layout like this. I kind of like this. This is kind of cool. Okay, this looks like a kind of simple side scroller. I'm not playing this; it's just a demo, just so you guys know. It's pretty far. But right now I've got on Invisible Invaders. Something else, I'm probably doing on the weekend is just hanging out watching old movies, black and white movies, or 80s and 90s and stuff like that. Being that's when I grew up. Let's see here. I think I have played this before, if I'm not mistaken. I believe this was included on a emulator. I don't think this was anything I played growing up, but I think I have played this before. Yeah, right now I'm watching a bunch of 50s movies too. So right now it is October. We are in that horror movie marathon, and I typically will. I don't know. I'll just pick like a. I know horror is a genre, but I'll pick different, like maybe genres within. Can you shoot diagonally? Oh, that sucks. I would pick different genres within horror. So like maybe I'll start with like all vampires, or I'll do like zombie movies, or I'll sometimes save zombies for the end because I really like zombies a lot. But I'll go through them in that kind of a manner, or in a way of like titles and sequels, where maybe I'll pick all the Freddy's and I'll just like run through those in sequence. And I decided for some reason this go around that I would try something a little bit different So what I'm doing is actually, oh no, falling to my death is what I'm doing. These are some cool backgrounds. I like these, like that, like, well, the immediate background just kind of looks like almost like a castle scene or something. And I don't know what's going on with those lights on the roof. But like the very, very background, those like purple buildings, I don't know, there's something cool about those. I like those. Uh, but yeah, so typically that's how I kind of run my horror movie marathons. I'll like maybe do like all Jason movies, and then I'll do like all the Freddy movies, and then I'll watch like Freddy versus Jason. You know. But this time I'll go around. I'm doing by decade. This is like what they call a death trap. There we go. So I'm starting with the 50s. I watched The Blob, the original. Uh, Although that would have been a cool breakout to do that last. And oh, what a cheap. So this is the kind of stuff we would deal with back in the day with like video games. So the programmer who, what is a so May just jumps as well. The programmer decided okay, so that's I guess a trick to it. See, they gotta time it just right. These games are tough. I do like this. This is, you know, pretty simple side scroller here. Ah, gotta get with the fake. Gotta get it with the fakey, bro. Definitely something I would have been happy with renting back in the day. I'm trying to think of like some of the horror movies I might have rented back in the day. The 1980s Blob would have been one of the horror movies I rented back in the day. That definitely would have been rental. Oh shoot, 100%. But yeah, that would have been a cool break-in, like doing some like 50s movies and then doing the Blob and then jumping from like the 50s to the 80s. 80s is a good year for horror movies. I'm gonna start to eat some of my banana here. The 80s was a great year for horror movies. A lot of cool things. That's like, I mean, like when, you know, I grew up in the 80s. My dad literally not just let me watch horror movies, but kind of almost made us watch horror movies. I know that sounds awful. Oh, my boner. Um, but he also like he broke it down to like what, you know, they weren't real. They were just fake movies, and so it wasn't like traumatic. It wasn't like he like strapped us down and made us watch like horror movies and we hated it. We absolutely loved it. It was like one of our most favorite things. But um, you know, he showed us it wasn't real and like, you know, that it was just blood and guts. Or really like it was just um. Oh shoot. Wait, hold on, wait. Let me see something here. No, we were going to go back in time. That's just kind of like horror movie like right here. Oh, that's kind of sweet. That's crazy. I wish I had that feature back in the day. Like trying to eat my yogurt, my banana, and get shot. But movie. I love horror movies. Absolutely my favorite genre, and I'll tell you why. Sure, there's some funny lines in some action movies. Okay, like you can watch The Terminator. It's got some funny lines, maybe, or Terminator 2 is probably a better example of that. Maybe there might be some romance. Maybe. Um, Definitely no like romance between um, anybody in the second Terminator film, right? A little romance story in the first one, okay. Which I think the Terminator is actually that's not a good example because I think that the first Terminator is actually more of a horror movie in my opinion, if you ask me, right? Let me think about that. Like I know it gets kind of actiony, sci-fi actiony towards as the sequels go on, but that first one, how relentless that Terminator is, that is like horrific. Anyway, um, but like you get bits and pieces, like you might get a little action in a comedy, you might get a little bit of this. Horror movies have everything, everything. So let's see here. Monster Squad, definitely something I would be renting. I love that movie. A lot of the black and whites. I mean, my dad. We had a lot of movies. Like horror movies is something we probably wouldn't have had to rent a ton of. We had so many. But a lot of the old black and whites. I mean, those were movies that my sister and I liked to watch as well. I remember my dad. Like I said, he had tons of them, and we would have movie marathons back when we were kids, and we watched the old black and whites like all day. I remember he left to go to a friend's house, and we were just kind of hanging out, watching movies in his room. And he came back like late that night, like 8, 9 o'clock at night after being out with his buddy all day, and we were still shoot buckets, still just sitting there. Oh wait, hanging out, watching these old horror movies of his, and we just really enjoyed it. Imagine if you had this feature in real life. Oh, game changer. Those guys look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, speaking of Terminators. Like all those. Whoa. Wait, did I just go back the other way? Whoa. This doesn't run out of ammo. Those look like Arnold's, right? Come with me. I heard a really cool... what the heck? Where are you supposed to go? I heard a really cool theory that... Nah, I'll just play through. So I just rewind it all the way back. The reason that... well, of course, I mean, the reason that the Terminators look like Arnold Schwarzenegger is because Arnold Schwarzenegger plays the Terminators. But there's a fan theory out there that the Predator and the Terminator exist in the same universe simply because in, of course, the movie Predator, you have Dutch. And then apparently after those films, Dutch is hired by Datadyne Corporation as kind of like a, I don't know, it's like a consultant. He's been in the jungle, he's fought aliens, he knows they exist, and Datadyne is there to create weapons to help fight oh shoot, these aliens. And so, because he's a consultant and he's there to help with these aliens and fight these aliens, they decide to make the Terminators look like Dutch as kind of like a, I don't know, like a tribute to his character or whatever, or like who he is in that world, which I thought was kind of cool. It's like, I should have killed him. Oh yeah, right. I got no health, bro. Like a one shot, bro. Ah. Yeah, right. Oh, sweet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It sucks you can't shoot diagonally. I keep trying to. Hmm. Ah. Ah. I need Dutch right now. Can't hold my arm diagonally. Oh, this is tough. Hmm. Man. Do I want to do this again? I don't know. Might just go back and let the demo go so you guys can maybe see like a different screen other than um, what I've been playing. But yes, apparently, like I said, like this stick character exists, and he's like I said, a consultant for Datadyne, and that's why the Terminators look like him. But if you watch, I think it's like Terminator 3. There is a deleted scene. I don't think it's in the movie, but there is a deleted scene, I believe, where you have
ESWAT.
Arnold Schwarzenegger playing a character called um, like Colonel Candy or something like that. Colonel John Candy, I feel like the name is. And he's this big, goofy looking sergeant. It's played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he's like, hi, y'all, and talks like that. And they decide to use his model as the model for the T-800. And then one of the technicians is like, I mean, it looks great, but we got to do something about that voice. And they're like, don't worry, we'll take care of that. And then that's like, you know, I guess how you get the voice where it's like he's a little intimidating and and just like, that's why he sounds like this all. But, you know, anyway. I always found it interesting, though. I'm doing all this like Terminator commentary over ESWAT. If you go back and watch the very first Terminator, there's their Arnold T-800. But there are other T-800s. There's like an actor with like dark hair, and he
ESWAT.
makes his way into oh, they have options, the facility, and there's like this huge attack. It's like one of John Reese's flashbacks. Oh, I love this movie. The Invisible Invaders. Like, they're just like, it's got to be like one of the easiest. They're like, how do we make a really low budget movie? What if the bad guys were invisible? Well, what do they look like? It doesn't matter. They're invisible. Well, who's gonna play? No, you don't get it. They're invisible. Like, oh yeah. It's like they're just like. I'm not really sure like how they do this. This would actually be like really cool to see, but like they're just like dragging lines through the ground, like the dirt, like somebody's walking, but they're like dragging. They're like, I don't know who like drags their feet like that, like shuffs, like never picks their feet up. It's not like footprints appear, you know, like that would make more sense, I guess, like indentions. And this is just like somehow they figure like, oh, we can make it look like the ground's moving. It's almost like little gophers, are moving along side by side, slowly. Talk a step, take a step. It's so funny. It cracks me up. I'm sorry. Oh, we can listen to some music. We'll listen to some of the. We'll go out to some of this last 5 minutes here. So with this ESWAT soundtrack. While I talk about Terminator, this goofy movie, Invisible Invaders. Oh, but you can see that guy. He's not invisible at all. I'm watching like one guy, like he's like strangling another guy. Oh, he's like strangling the other guy. Oh, maybe they start off invisible and then they like hop into the bodies of people. I think is what happens. Oh shoot, he's a zombie. I love this too. They're like, it's people at a hockey game. I'm just going to narrate this movie to you guys. There's people at a hockey game, and they were told over the intercom after they would. Oh, the announcers weren't killed. What the heck? The door opens. So I thought the announcers were killed. I guess maybe one wasn't. One was killed, the other one wasn't. Okay. So anyway, at this hockey game, the announcers are like choked out and passed out. Then like the zombie gets on the microphone and it's like, people of Earth, we are invisible invaders and we are here to kill you. And they just like, they start running. They're like, oh no, we've got to run. Run away from the hockey game. The invisible invaders are here to kill us. Run away. Like, they're just going to like sporting events, telling people to like fear them, and everybody's like running in mass hysteria. I don't know that that would work. You know? Like, would that be as easy as it would be like if you're at a basketball game and they're like, oh, you know, so and so passes it off to so and so, and so and so passes it off to so and so, and people of Earth, we are here to take over and kill you all by taking over your body. And like, then what? Would everybody just get up and run? I loved it. It's still a common trope today. Like watch it on most like TV shows. Like they did it on Smallville 20 years ago or something, and they're still doing it now. Where like Lois and Clark, it's the same tropes. The aliens will hop on the TV. You know, they did it in Man of Steel. All of your devices all of a sudden get taken over, and there's like a video. It's like, I don't know if I would believe it. It's like, oh, this is just like a way of like somebody's just like figured out a way to like plug into your phone to promote their new like Taylor Swift album, or you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I think it's so funny like how like the American population is portrayed. Like most people will see actual things like happening on TV and not even like go into panic, like just like, oh, okay, it's just like another day. And they show us like people of Earth. I'm like, oh shit, we start freaking out. I think it'd be kind of like exciting. It'd be kind of cool. But I've always thought like Terminator was more of like a horror movie. Speaking of things taking over, it's a very dark film, very gritty. The atmosphere, very like film noir, that sci-fi, tech noir kind of thing, you know. But it's at the very end, once the truck has exploded, where it like really for me switches from like just not just like a dark sci-fi film, but to horror. When he starts to come out of the Terminator starts to come out of the fire, and that robotic skeletal form. Oh my god, that is just absolutely horrific. Absolutely horrific, in my opinion. And he's just like relentless after that. Just doesn't stop. I'm going to hear a lot of that. Game over. Ooh. Very cool. I like that little ditty. So yeah, I don't know. Pretty cool game. This would have been something I enjoyed playing over the weekend. Nothing I'm going to go through and actually try to beat myself. Just your pretty basic, simple side scroller. Memorize where your bad guys are, figure out the pattern to the helicopter, and figure out the pattern to your main bosses. Very much like there we go. Got the timer going off, telling me it's time to put my game on pause with you guys. But it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, pretty much. I mean, this is like any Mega Man type game or anything like that. You just kind of go through, remember where all your bad guys are, remember where to go, where not to go, where you can jump, where you don't jump, and figure out the boss patterns. And that's how you beat the games. But anyway, pretty cool game. ESWAT, not too bad. Only E title in this whole collection. So when we jump back, we will be hopping back into the F. F is for friends, F is for family, and F is for shut the front door. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and coming in here and shutting the front door behind you, spending a little time with me in my little game room here. I hope you guys will take the time to like this video, share, subscribe, comment down below, all of that jazz, and remember, until next time, please take care of yourself, take care of each other, and of course, don't spend that quarter anywhere else. Thank you much, guys. Take care.